One of the questions I get the most often is, what do we do to help our English language learners who we obviously need to support more when it comes to writing, but we're having to teach on grade level skills and standards that they're not really ready for. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about 9 strategies that you can use with your English language learners. A lot of them can be incorporated into the lessons that you're already doing. You to modify it for those students, or also just to use it whole group, because a lot of these strategies work really well for all students. Before we get started, go to the comments and let me know either one of the biggest struggles that you have helping support your English language learners with writing instruction, or tell me something that you've found that's been really successful or helpful to you. Because I know that all the teachers are going to go look at the comments after this video, and it's super helpful to see what other people have to say. So as part of collaboration, always leave a comment on my videos. It makes me so happy, and I'm here to answer questions as well. Well, let's get straight into this because I've got 9 really awesome strategies that I know you're going to love. Okay, this first strategy I'm actually going to give you a completely free resource for, so definitely stick around to the end to learn how to get that. This is doing a sentence frame or sentence stem for these students. So this is something that's as simple as printing out the ones that we provide to you on sticky notes, and being able to help your students out by sticking it on just their paper for them to have that sentence stem. We also can do this with more advanced English language learners by creating a paragraph writing template. And so this paragraph writing template allows for them to have the start here and then fill in what they can. This allows for them to be able to really focus on the content and not struggle too much on how to start the sentence, how to end the sentence, and so this is super helpful. Now, all of these things can be modified for any writing lesson that you do, whether it's for having them write a single sentence or having them write a single paragraph, but you can use this with your writing prompt that you're doing with your students, and that way they're still participating in the same type of writing, the same topics, all of that, but they're getting a little more scaffolding. I'm going to give you some that you can type into and print out and use on a bulletin board too. So if you just want to add some options for all of your students to be able to use some of these in their writing, to fill these in, you can definitely do that as well. You can use it in your own mini lesson. There are a variety of ways that you can use this. My second strategy is to actually reduce the text that they're using. So we know text-based writing is so important, but we don't want our students who are English language learners to have to worry about reading a text that's at grade level if that's not where they're at. So we can reduce the text. We can also do things like have them close read it, so they can work with a partner or with you and close read, and they can write down notes here. But this allows for them to get a better opportunity to grasp the passage. Along with this as well, I really like to have a read aloud available, which is something that we do in Simplify Writing program, is we have a read aloud for all of our texts, which really helps our English language learners. So you can most definitely also record yourself reading the text as a good way to help those students. Okay, strategy number 3 is something that I do in all of my writing lessons. So this is something that I don't have to actually modify. I just do it for everyone. And that is to provide a model of my writing. So every time I do a mini lesson, I am modeling for my students exactly what type of concept they'll use in their writing and exactly what to do there. So I'm giving them examples and tools that they need to take it into their independent writing time. I'll display the model really big for them to look at. You can also provide a copy for them to look at if you're pre-prepping it. And it just is super helpful for all of your students to be able to see what you are expecting from them and what the writing actually looks like. And the next strategy is very closely related, and that's mentor text. So use mentor text to show students, again, what this skill or concept looks like in actual writing. Not only is mentor text really engaging, but it's a way for them to really visualize it. And visualizing is really half the battle when it comes to teaching writing, especially for your English language learners. Strategy number 5 is just to make time for quick writes. So allow for your students, all of them, to have time to do quick writes to practice their skills. These are no stress, no pressure, just quick writes like journaling. You can give verbal or picture prompts, so it's easier for these students. And that way they're able to just practice getting thoughts down. And for some of your English language learners, this might mean writing it in their native language, and translating 1 or 2 sentences, or just building out, a very small paragraph. So it's going to be different for each student, but the quick write allows for you to really differentiate that for all these students so that they're able to write at their ability level. Number 6 is a great one because, again, this works for all of your students, and that's to build word walls. So this is going to be a collection of words that your students can use in their writing. It's going to be specific to the writing type or the topics that you're working on. So especially if you're writing about something that's a science or social studies topic where you have a lot of that academic vocabulary, those word walls are going to be helpful there. They're also going to be really helpful for your students if you're creating a basic word wall or just a word list for them that they're using that maybe is not quite on grade level, but are some of the words that they're practicing using in their writing. And strategy number 7 is to allow students to write in their native language. It is not a bad thing to allow them to do this. You can have them translate it over. You can use Google Translate. There's so many tools to do this. But when your students are just not ready to write in English and you still want them to be able to participate and slowly move them towards that goal, this can be a really helpful tool. Tip number 8 is vocabulary related too. I think this is so important for all of your students, but pre-teach that academic vocabulary. So I'm talking about things that you see in passages that are specifically usually bolded for students because it's at grade level academic vocabulary. Those are things you absolutely have to pre-teach to your ELL students. And it doesn't hurt to pre-teach that to your students as well. So using a vocabulary lesson before your writing lesson when you're talking about using things like text so that they can provide text-based evidence in their writing, that vocabulary part is so important. So always pre-teach that. It's going to make a huge difference for all of your students. And the last strategy has to do with your mini lesson and also student writing time, and that's just to simplify your directions. So my best strategy for teaching writing to all students is always to give a very bite-sized mini lesson and then have the students do the same exact thing in their writing and put their spin on it directly after. I don't want to give my students directions saying, okay, go back to your desk and I want you to do this, 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 and this, and this, right? You want a very short checklist, 1 or 2 items that they're gonna do in their writing when they go to independent writing time. So it is the same with your English language learners. It might be a little bit of a different checklist, especially if they're working on more basic skills. But you want to make sure that the directions that you're giving them are very simple, very easy to understand, and don't involve a lot of complicated steps. And when you're actually using writing terms inside of your writing mini lesson, take the time to stop and define that term. So if you're talking about thesis, that's a big word even for 5th graders who are native English speakers. Stop again, even if you've gone over it before, and back up and say, remember, this is what a thesis is. Simplify that language. Okay, remember, it's all about vocabulary. We have to make sure that they understand the language that we're using and they're building that English vocabulary. Okay, so those are the 9 strategies that you can use with your English language learners. You can pick and choose. You don't have to do all of them. You'll find that some fit certain situations better than others. I am going to link you to the free download so that you can grab these sentence stems and a few other resources inside of there to help you out in the link in the description. So definitely go to the description, check it out, grab that download, and if you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. And if you have not visited Simplify Writing yet, definitely do that. We have a full library of resources just for English language learners in addition to our regular intervention units. We also have audio read alouds for all of the passages that students are reading, so we can really support our students when we're teaching them writing. So definitely check that out. I'm going to link to that in the description as well. And let me know in the comments what questions you have, what writing topic you want me to cover next on my YouTube channel, and make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you have notifications so that you can see all of my new videos and get all of this content for free.